to go to the post office the other day,
Hmm.
and it's like if you didn't see some masks here and there, you wouldn't
You
think
wouldn't
it's
know
the
that anything's unusual.
yeah. Everyone's just enjoying their time off, I guess.
Well, it is the 8th of April now, 2020,
Mm.
and we are in day, I don't know, of lockdown. I don't know. It's not really a lockdown, but it's kind of like we strictly suggest you don't go outside. And I kind of agree with that. So yeah,
Yeah, and because everyone kind of was forced indoors at different times, there's no real, start date. But I guess just March in general.
yeah, I guess, yeah, March, yeah, somewhere in March. Like, it's just weird to think, even, at the end of February, I'd gone out to meet up with Anil on one of the weekends on a Saturday, and then I was, I had the baby mail thing on the 20, I want to say the 24th
Mm.
of February. Let me just double check the calendar. Um, Sorry, the 23rd. So I would have seen him on the 22nd of February, and it seems like forever ago, but it wasn't even that long. And I
Yeah.
remember thinking twice about going to the baby mail thing because I was like stressed out about a couple of things.
Yeah, we
And
were talking about it. I think by the time you talked to me about it, you were like, "I'm worried, but I'm gonna go." So, kudos to you
yeah, I
for actually
mean,
getting involved with
but that, yeah, I mean, because I started to think, because at the time New Japan, wrestling was kind of starting to tell people to stay at home if they were ill, so it was kind of already kind of coming to light where it was like, okay, there's something's going on, but obviously at the time no one really took it seriously. But I think they were the first ones to kind of say, if you're feeling unwell, then we'll actually like refund, because I don't think they usually do refunds. They said they'd
Yeah.
refund tickets.
I wonder if there's any kind of like governmental compensation for stuff like that. 'Cause it's like a lot of people are actually being forced to stop the concerts. So it's like if someone tells you to stop it, then they have to
At
at
that
least.
point, I don't think there was. I think it was just a loss. Whereas I think
Oh yeah.
over here now, the governments are saying that they'd give you, or they'll give employees 80% of like, employees' wages, but they have to apply for a grant. And yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's all this. We're living through history, so it's like it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, true.
Um,
I mean, technically we're always living through history, but it's weird to
no, as in like
actually.
people in 100 years' time are gonna, go on YouTube and then look for this particular podcast or
Yeah,
PodStream and be like, wow, this is history. Like,
this
they
is
were
what
talking
happened.
about this coronavirus because, like, yeah, I mean, this is one of those like periods of time in history where it's gonna be looked back on in like 100 years' time, if there is 100 years' time from now, if we haven't been
Mm.
taken over by all the aliens.
Oh yeah, or at least work coincide with them anyway.
I hope so. We watched District 9 the other night. That was fun.
Oh cool. I like that movie. Originally it was supposed to be a Halo movie, but they lost the rights to it and had to come up with an entirely new thing.
Halo movie. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, to something that you mentioned in the previous pod stream, it's been the year for me for catching up on things that I've been putting, to the side for many, many years. And District 9, I remember seeing the first maybe 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes of it, like at least nine
Mm.
times. And
Nice.
I'd never seen the ending. And then we've kind of done this thing now at home where we're doing kind of like a movie night, I guess. Like everyone's trying to be free by 9 p.m. so we can kind of spend time together. And then
That's
throughout the
cool.
day, I'm just kind of like I'm just making sure I'm doing what I need to do according to like I was talking to you about balancing my schedule and stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's just getting better and better. I'm just finding things to tweak even more and just hack away at, kind of getting it down, waking up right. And yeah, I'm like, I feel good. But yeah, we've been
Mm.
doing this thing where we watch movies in the evening. So there's obviously a backlog of movies as well as games that we already know about. But like with the movies, um, there was a Bollywood movie called War, which is kind of about war, but but it's kind of like one of those James Bondy, Metal Gear Solid like action type movies. And we were originally going to watch that, and then for some reason that wasn't on the Skybox, so I kind of got frustrated because like sometimes when you have something planned out in your mind, if one thing goes off, you kind of get really frustrated about it
Yeah,
because it
that's
knocks
fair.
everything else out of balance. And that's just how I am. This is how I operate. I want things to go according to plan. But the thing is, like life happens when in between those plans. So
Yeah, absolutely.
when we got to watching the film, like it wasn't there because someone had deleted it or it deleted itself or for whatever reason it
Ugh.
wasn't there. So I got really frustrated about it for a couple of minutes, and then I kind of thought, okay, well, what's on Netflix? And then I saw District 9. I was like, I can take this frustration and use it as an opportunity to finally finish this film.
That's true.
So, kind of just because you know how sometimes when you get yourself ready for a film, like you're in that mindset. Okay, you're gonna watch an action film, or we're gonna watch a comedy or a horror. You're getting
You want it to
mentally
happen,
ready.
yeah.
Yeah, and you want it to happen, and then when that kind of gets thrown out, you're like, oh,
Why bother?
yeah. But then for a second, if you just think about the fact that we can watch movies, and
Yeah.
we're not outside, and we're not like in some of the positions that some of the people are in. But again, yeah, I was quickly able to kind of just turn that around and be like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna use this as a chance to finish this film
Yeah. Good
um,
for you, man.
that I haven't actually seen, and we really enjoyed it. Like we quite liked it. You've seen it, right?
War, did you say?
District 9.
District 9, sorry, yes. Yeah, no, I've seen it twice now. Quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really liked how it makes you sympathize with not
The
particular
aliens.
races. Yeah, but at the same time, you kind of
African people.
sympathize
The aliens.
with every. Well, the thing is, looking at the commentary of that film, I think there was a lot of like because of apartheid and all the other kind of Nigerians and
Mm,
Ghanaians and this that and the other. Like there is a lot said. I think that the film kind of gets across about it doesn't matter whether you're an alien as in from outside Earth or an alien in
yeah.
terms of just by the next country. Like everyone's got their dickheads. That's what
Yeah,
I took away from
absolutely.
it, and everyone's got their people that are victims of the situation. Like the guy. Vickers, whatever his name was. I've never seen this actor before, South African guy.
Mm,
He was pretty good, and he was definitely like one of those characters you kind of feel that he's just kind of a cog in the wheel, but you sympathize with him because he's a nice guy.
mm.
He's very relatable in that sense. Like we maybe know someone like him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
We all could be him.
yeah, you could easily know him or you could have characteristics that's similar to his. But yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Hmm. It's a
Um,
nice new
so yeah,
experience.
it's District 9. So we've been watching some movies. How have you guys been? What's been kind of have you got a routine down or like
Yeah,
what's
basic
going
routine
on in
like
the
working
stout?
during the day and then yeah, just chill in the evening, dinner and Lois and Clark. Started watching that a few weeks ago. We're like season three
Okay.
now. Just work for a series. That's kind of what we're doing now.
Is that the New Adventures of Superman or is that something else?
Yeah, New Adventures of Superman from 1993, I believe.
Oh wow. I watched Smallville yesterday, so
Nice. How's
trying
that
to
doing?
I'm trying to kind of get it into because I do want to finish it before I die, um,
Yeah,
and I've been
one
working on
one
it
of
for
these
many
days.
years.
Yeah,
So
you deserve
yeah,
to finish.
it's not if you limit your entertainment, like I'm just finding that I just enjoy things more because like I'm literally limiting like the chocobo race in Final Fantasy X. I was on it for like, spending usual amounts of time, or what was usual for us, like when we play games,
Yeah,
and I kind of started limiting it to like from 7 o'clock to like maybe 7:30, 7:40. I'll spend 40 minutes playing an RPG, which doesn't sound like you're gonna get much done. But if I just
yeah.
focus on that one thing, so I was doing the Chocobo race, which is the most frustrating bronze trophy
Oh
in the
gosh, yeah.
history of Square Enix, or maybe games just as a whole.
It is annoying that it's only a bronze trophy, but you do need it for,
It should be
certain
more. You have
aspects.
to finish the race with zero, as in,
Like,
you have to
yeah,
get
how
at
like
least 10 or 11 balloons. You have to not hit any of those birds. I don't know if you remember how annoying that whole thing
yeah,
was.
it doesn't feel physically possible at the beginning.
Yeah, it doesn't. But then you know what? I just went in there. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it within 40 minutes. If I can't do it, fuck it. Um,
Yeah,
but with that mentality, I did it in like 36 minutes. Like it's crazy
nice.
how limiting the amount of time you have with things makes you perform better.
That's true.
Or it's what I'm finding anyway. Like so, if you limit, say you've got to do your essay or whatever, if you limit like I'm gonna do it between this time and this time, you know,
Mm,
and you set yourself that limit, you will produce results better, I think, than when we kind of sit down to play something. And it's like, oh well, I need to finish the chocobo race, and I have as much time as I want this evening. Like, do you know what I mean?
mm.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
absolutely.
finding anyway. Um,
I feel you, bro.
so yeah, Final
Work,
Fantasy
working
X.
consistently at something is definitely better than just.
It is because it's like I'm still learning about. I'm still like literally every day I'll just try and tweak something or try something different or be more flexible.
Mm,
Um, But yeah, like say with your I don't know how we so we went from talking about movies to the daily routines and stuff. So you know so you've got to fit in this essay work at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's my own fault really. I left it too long, but it's just the most unmotivating
It is,
piece
and
of
the first step
garbage.
is admitting it was your fault because you decided not to do it sooner. The second,
Exactly.
the second you start thinking, oh, I got caught up with this, that, and the other, it just makes you a victim of, Niagara Falls. Eventually you're going with the current times, current news, and then that current is
Yeah,
gonna take you off the edge of the waterfall, man. So it's good,
pretty
yeah. So
much.
at least you know that, next time. So what? So
So,
why did you leave it too late? It's just
because
not very
it's a
fun.
non-technical module, and it's a lot of stuff that just I don't know. I just don't want to do it.
Yeah, I see.
That's
There
the
you go. You
main
just don't
issue.
want to do it. It's
Just
just not
boils down to
engaging.
that
Maybe it's not
essentially.
engaging. You know.
No, it definitely isn't. And it's like we don't strictly need to do it, which doesn't help.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Is it an essay you said?
It's 5 essays.
Five. So you've so have you um put off doing all five essays or just one of the five?
Yes,
All five essays. And when is the deadline?
next week.
Okay.
So I'm like getting one. I'm like starting it now because like I technically can get like one done a day, but I'd rather just get them done sooner and just relax a bit more. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
at that point where I'm just steadily working at them a bit more.
Okay. Fair enough. So you've got 7 days and five essays. That's doable. Definitely doable. I am literally just on 2K19. I'm just looking up arenas that I could use for the stream later on today.
Sorry, my wireless my device turned off my controller because I was not doing anything.
Oh, okay. No,
You
I
think
was
if you're involved
saying
in a party, it should stay on?
I was literally just looking at the some created arenas because I thought by now like someone would have created the arena for this, past WrestleMania because I was going to use that as the background for the stream later on today when we discuss
Oh,
like our
cool, yeah.
review for WrestleMania.
How was it?
Well, in order to know my opinion, you're gonna have to tune in at 6 p.m.
That's true.
BST.
That's fair. I only
I'm
got
getting
a
used to this,
like
man.
oh
I'm getting used to this, like refeeding, the return on investment into like social platforms. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Even with this, like when I'm setting limits to like how much I'll do, like this is YouTube time, or this is time to do this, or be creative. Like it kind of lets me balance out all of my kind of okay, this is creative time, this is just studying and consuming knowledge time.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was just saying, I read a quote because you're telling me about how this, you're not engaging with your learning material. I just remember
Mm,
reading a quote, I think it was like earlier on in the week, or a couple of days ago, about like, everyone is born very intelligent and then they go and study in school
I believe that.
and they get conditioned into, it's weird, man. I was looking at this thing called the Socratic method. So obviously Socrates, I say obviously, but not everyone may know, like Socrates
Mm,
was the dude from a long time from a long time ago, and the Socratic method basically is like teaching entirely through asking questions. So if I was to
mm,
teach you about something, I wouldn't teach you that so and so beat so and so at this WrestleMania. Like you teach by asking questions, and then the student comes up with answers of their own. So you don't
yeah.
actually give them facts to memorize. You get them to question the nature of like whatever it is, and then yeah, that's science, right? In
Hmm.
fact, that's more
Yeah, makes sense.
scientific than here's this thing, this is the truth. Don't ever question it. Learning. So we're talking about learning. What else is going? Yeah, so I've made a commitment to like learning kanji now because I kind of had this wishy-washy like, oh, it would be nice to be able to read Jushin Thunder Liger's book one day.
Mm,
Because obviously I got him to sign it. I met him. It was a great experience. But I have no idea what he's written about in his biography because I can't read to that level of Japanese. so,
that's fair. Yeah.
so yeah. I mean, for past, if I would have done it 2 years ago, I would be like pretty fluent. I'm pick up Japanese manga and like flying through it. But the thing is, I didn't. So like, I've made this commitment now to spend 20 minutes doing like kanji learning, and then
Mm.
do maybe up to an hour re going through. That's not even proper semantics. Going through again,
Yeah,
writing in hiragana. So just practicing the actual writing.
that's cool.
Um, but with kanji, yeah, I mean, I've started like maybe a week ago, and I already know like 24 new kanji. 18, let's say 18. I know 18 new kanji. Well,
Oh, good stuff.
so how it's pronounced, what it means, and the English like translation. So the meaning and the reading of it. And I'm like, fuck me, I did that in a week. Like I'm kind of like learning 18 new characters, like a whole new
Yeah,
matrix.
good for
Um,
you, man.
yeah, but it's literally just been like maximum 20 minutes a day. Like I think
Yeah,
because the other thing is you can only concentrate for 20 minutes at a time.
true.
Um,
Consistency is always better, like you say.
yeah, so you just do 20 minutes every day, and like I'm here now, like oh, I actually know the actual kanji for enter. I know what it's called, and I know how to translate it. Like cool stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
Right.
one of the things that they use for teaching it, the way I'm learning the kanji, is through mnemonics. So they kind of it tells a story
Yeah.
behind that character, and then there's particular parts of the story that help you remember the meaning and the reading and the whatever for that character.
Hmm.
Because one of the ways that I think we learn is through kind of stories. It kind of helps kind of glue everything together.
Yeah.
And the other thing it kind of blends in is like spaced repetition. So it kind of just constantly like tests you on your recall, like what do you remember, sort of thing. So yeah, it's going good, man. Hopefully, when we have this conversation in a year's time on episode 64, maybe I don't know, then we can go back here and be like, oh shit, I only knew 18. Now I'm like the president of Japan.
Nice.
But yeah, man, learning is good, but just yeah, sometimes it's not fun or it's not engaging.
Yeah, it
Like,
takes ages sometimes,
do you think
but
you
it's
remember the
it's.
things you're learning now?
I think so.
So what
I
is
like
the
to think so.
essay? Give me the one you're working on today. What's the title?
Team leadership, though, characteristics and features of teams and teamwork.
Okay.
So it's good to know. It's just like it's the kind of stuff I'd rather learn than write about.
Yeah, I think the best way. Yeah, it's a thing. It's about teamwork, right?
Yeah,
You mean teamwork in general, or teamwork specifically
teamwork in
for
general.
something to do with cybersecurity?
Just generally teamwork. It's nothing to do with what we're doing,
Okay.
which is part of the problem.
To the guys in the chat, what do you think about teamwork? Let's have a look. Oh, I don't think there is anyone in chat. This is a proper low-key pod stream. This is good though. But this was the whole purpose, is to kind of catch up. So when you message me saying, you're kind of stressed out, I was like, all right, perfect. Like, I don't know. Every time someone says anything to me, I'm like, oh, perfect. Like, you guys were like, oh, I can't be free at the same time. Like, because obviously we usually do this at 3:30 BST, which is what I have to remember as well. It's no longer GMT. We are in British summertime. And Jas
Yeah.
said he could only be free at 6 p.m. And I was like, my initial reaction was like, oh, fuck. Like, what do I do? But then I was like, great. This is an opportunity for me to make more stuff and to do more work.
Don't
So yeah,
imagine
this is.
most people having that attitude, so good for you.
I don't even have. I'm still developing it. I just stumbled upon it, sort of to just think of it that way. Like, okay, cool. I get 3 opportunities today to stream.
Yeah,
So
sweet.
obviously we'll do a usual pod stream, and then at 6 p.m. BST we'll do a little review. So that's gonna be the bonus. And then yeah, 8 p.m. I'll do like 20 minutes of Super Meat Boy.
Sweet.
Is there
The more the
anything?
merrier.
Well, not always, but sometimes I just like doing 20 minutes of Super Meat Boy, so then I can spend maybe 40 minutes playing, Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
Speaking of, yeah, so this 20-minute burst. So I did the Chocobo Rider thing. I didn't play for a couple of days, and then I think yesterday I beat Simo Omnis. Omnis,
Yeah, I think that's him.
the one with
Great job.
the wheels behind him, and he's got these element things spinning around, and he does these really powerful moves, elemental moves.
Hmm.
And yeah, I died the first
Play.
time,
Yeah. Oh, your playthrough's coming along nicely.
and then I killed him.
Glad
Use
to hear it.
the Mega Sisters are so overpowered, like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird that like they're the final one when it's like it feels like just from the way he looks, the way he's introduced, he's part of the story. He's like the big bad guy's, big final Aeon. You
Hmm.
think Anima would be the ultimate one,
Anima,
but
I
yeah.
really like Anima. Like I've got a personal attachment to Anima, and I've figured something about Yojimbo as well. I've kind of noticed when he's about to do Zanmato,
Mm.
if you give him the right amount, before he does it, he nods his head.
Okay.
So she
Yeah, that
gives the
makes sense.
money in his hand, and he nods his head, and he's like, "Don't worry, I got this."
This will do.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Whatever's in front of you, just kind of kills him."
Yeah.
And I saw, I had a goosebump moment, like when I saw, so on the way. So after you kind of take down Sin, and by the way, this is spoilers for anyone that, like me, may have never finished Final Fantasy X 18 years ago, but I'm
Mm.
just throwing it out there. So if you want to just plug your ears and not listen, or click away, or pause, or actually don't click away, don't
It's,
go anywhere. You you
just mute it for
stay
a bit.
right there. Yeah, just mute me for about another minute if you don't hear about Final Fantasy X spoilers. But yeah, once you take down Sin and you go on the little path, and then you're going towards Seymour Omnis.
Mm.
An enemy along that path that pops up quite frequently. It's called Adamantoise. It's like a giant turtle.
Oh yeah.
So it's like a giant turtle thing. And for me, the reason it gave me reverse goosebumps, if that makes sense, because I seen this thing in Final Fantasy 15, and it's the last
Ah.
thing I beat. In Final Fantasy 15, it's huge. It's the size of a mountain. It's like a physical mountain.
Wow.
And it's got the largest HP in the entire game. And once you defeat it, you get a trophy, and that was the trophy that I popped to get the platinum, Final Fantasy 15.
Oh.
So I saw it
Oh,
in,
wonderful.
yeah, so I saw it in Final Fantasy 10, and I was like, oh wow, shit, this is Adamantoise. It's like, I didn't know he was a thing here. This is cool. Now die.
It's my boy.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man. I like that
So
reverse nostalgia, did you say?
yeah, reverse goosebumps. I don't know. I just came up
Yeah.
with it's a thing. We're gonna make it a thing. Reverse
Yeah.
goosebumps. The T-shirt coming soon. Um, and yeah, I kind of got the WrestleMania Night 2 on in the background, just making some notes.
Oh yeah, how's that going?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, there were two particularly interesting segments
Hmm.
that were kind of like almost cinematic matches that I'll go into.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to tune into that later on today at 6 p.m. BST, you know where to be.
Yeah, sure.
Um, So yeah, what else? What's stressing you out? What's some of the challenges you're going through, like
It's
during
not a
the
big deal.
days?
It's just a lot of work that has been compounded by the current climate. And it's like okay, so we have this much work to do, and I mean it's nice to be able to work from home. The only thing stressing me out is just now it's just approaching deadlines, and no matter how well on top of things you are, it's always a stressful time. Can't do
Okay,
much
so
about that.
first thing is okay, and you have to promise not to get mad at me because I tried giving my mum this advice this week. She got really angry, even though it's
Okay,
true. Or at least
that's
I
often
think so,
the most
anyway.
stressful kind to hear.
Yeah, but it was one of those things
No.
that you could have taken either way, and obviously some people choose to take it the wrong way. But what the thing I was saying is that when we pick our vocabulary,
Yeah.
and this is something I'm still learning about because I'm trying to be very deliberate about the words that I use. Like, so we say things like "it's always that way." Like, those are one of
Uh-huh.
those things we should delete from our vocabulary because
Yeah.
it just kind of consigns us to the fact that this is how things
Oh
are. You
yeah,
can't change it. So
that's
it's a
true.
basic
Why should we
principle to
bother?
understand. Yeah, like those kind of metaphors and shit. I'm still kind of figuring it out. So I just thought it's because you said always, and it just reminded me of the thing. That's like, yeah, I always do that too.
That's true, but something I've noticed that for a lot of people, it is generally a stressful time. I didn't mean to say always, I
Mm.
guess,
No,
but
no, I'm
it's
talking about the
often.
word, the word. Forget the situation. I'm just saying the way
Yeah,
we use like
it's
words and that.
that's a good point. It's what they say in relationships as well. Is they never
Mm.
use. We just did it
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
but avoid the using the word always and never. Just it
yeah.
because it's not fair.
It's too pervasive.
Yeah, and it's
Uh,
too absolute.
it's permanent. permanency and pervasiveness. Pervasiveness is a
Mm.
word I learnt that means bleeds into other things.
Hmm.
Yes, I'm gonna be a genius in a year's time, and I'm excited. um, but yeah, it was just I said something about that, and then she just kind of took it the wrong way, and I was like, okay, there's no point trying to explain it to someone that doesn't understand, so I'm just gonna back away slowly.
I'm just gonna bail.
I just jumped out the immediately the closest window I could find, like Bullock in that episode of American Dad.
Yeah. My only regret is I never got a chance to use the breakaway glass we installed.
Actors, they're all actors.
Oh, look at this idiot's face. You think he'd normally look anyway? I think that's one of my favorite moments.
Yeah, that was one of those like classic American Dad moments.
Absolutely.
What else? Our neighbors just disappeared. That was strange.
Oh, because of
So
like, has
I
it just
don't
recently or?
know. Yeah, so on Sunday morning, because I've just been again quite stringent with the schedule. Like I'd been meaning to play with the bulldogs, neighbors' bulldogs, right? Because
Hmm.
I was like, it's a good way to kind of not kind of just let your mind loose a bit and just kind of run around and just mess about, I guess. And play, I
Yeah.
guess, is the word I want to look for. So I've been meaning to do that for a couple of days, and then eventually, like on Sunday morning, like I must have asked her because I saw her outside the window, and I was like, "Oh, where are the dogs? Like I wanna play with the dogs," and she was like, "Oh, we rehomed them."
Oh,
So I was like,
okay.
"Oh, okay." It was kind of strange. I was like, "All right, okay." Well, I go, "What? Just because was it too much?" Because I know they are kind of aggressive, and they're not. They eat a lot, and it's kind of it's an undertaking to look after these creatures, but
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just like, what, was he just getting too much? And she goes, yeah, something like that. And she didn't really go into it or anything. So I was like, oh, okay. It was just one of those
Oh,
conversations you walk away from like, okay, that was kind of weird, but all right, fair enough. And I noticed
yeah.
that there was
That's
stuff like moving in and out of their place over the past couple of days. But I didn't really pay any attention to it because they're always like moving stuff or they're doing stuff or they're, doing
yeah.
stuff in the garden or cutting down trees and, all this weird stuff. So I didn't pay any attention to it. And then come I want to say Monday morning. Yeah, literally the next day, one of our other neighbors was going past with her little kid, and she said that yeah, they've moved away. They've gone back to Romania. I was like, what?
Huh.
I was like, what? When? And she said, this morning. And the only reason she found out is because she was told by the neighbor, like I think in passing, because we all kind of know each other. So we know each other. So we have a good relationship with our neighbors, most of them.
Yeah.
Um, it was just really odd. Like it's really sudden. And she said, "Yeah, they've gone back." And my mom thought she meant like for holiday or something. And
Yeah. I mean, that's fair enough.
yeah, my neighbor was like, "No, it's just forever sort of thing." And I was like, "What? That's weird." Like I literally spoke to her yesterday. She said they rehomed their dogs and that was it. She didn't say or mention anything about like them moving away. Like you'd think you'd mention it or it would come up
Hmm.
in conversation.
Yeah, that's weird.
So it was very strange because she even like cut up the extra like weeds and stuff from our garden. So she's like did a lot of work on our garden recently, and we wanted to like do something or have like dinner together or give him something as
Yeah.
appreciation
Yeah.
because her kid spends a lot of time in our garden. And he runs around outside. He's got autism, so he's like always he's like always playing around outside. He's very intelligent little guy, and it's weird. Like all of a sudden, like she's cleaning our garden, a couple of days
Hmm.
ago, and then it's like okay, they just disappeared and didn't leave a message on anyone's phone either.
Yeah, that is. I don't know. Especially if they're not willing to kind of talk about it.
Yeah, or even mention it. Like she only mentioned it to the other neighbor because um
It's probably a sore subject, understandably, but still.
yeah, maybe yeah because like I remember I think she was telling one of us I think a couple of weeks ago about like coronavirus and it might be safer in Romania and this, that, and the other. I think it was like even my, yeah, it was probably my mum that was like, it's gonna be everywhere. Like it doesn't make a difference whether you're here or there.
Yeah.
Um, so I remember that being a concern, and I remember like maybe months before this is like her daughter. So it's basically a lady, her husband, um, a younger son who's still like quite young, and her daughter. And I remember the
Yeah.
daughter was having like a hard time in high school, and she really didn't enjoy it because I think the teachers would pick on her because she had long hair or something. Like, don't quote me on that. I'm just going off of like memory. But whatever the case was, she was having a hard time at high school, which is something we can relate to. Most people can relate to
Yeah.
periods of time in high school where you just kind of are having a tough time, and she didn't want to go back. So she wanted to, at the time, go back to like Romania or whatever her daughter did.
Mm.
But this was like again a couple of months ago. So I'm just trying to add up or trying to tabulate like what could have been the reason because it was so sudden
Yeah.
and like from having dogs running around in the backyard and the kid always being outside to like no noise. It's just really kind of surreal
Yeah. I
without any
guess it's
explanation.
what might be nice is, and if you guys get a dog after all this is over, would you consider that?
uh yeah, I mean that's one way to look at it, yeah. But I just, if anything, I just found it weird that neighbors would just disappear like that. It's very unusual, man. It's very unusual. So
At the very least, yeah.
you'd at least expect them to say, oh, we're going, you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
if you need anything or if you want to take anything, but nothing, like literally not even telling us, no text, nothing.
Just out of nowhere, yeah.
Out of nowhere, just packed up and left.
Who knows what's going on?
And they've been here for like, at least 5 years. So it's like we've
Hmm.
known them a while. She was there, she came upstairs the day they brought my father's body back to the house after he passed away. She was there for, these kind of things.
Hmm.
Um, so it's just weird, man. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some people just don't think that way, the way we would, to at least say
Hmm.
something.
Yeah. Especially if it's rushed and or it's too hard.
Yeah, because someone was, I don't know who it was, someone was telling me like maybe one of them caught like the virus or something. Because obviously I remember a husband speaking on the phone like a couple of times whilst he was outside, and I heard like obviously they're speaking in Romanian, but I can hear like Corona, Corona, a couple of times. It's like maybe one of them had it or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Or
maybe. Or they're worried the dogs are going to get it or something, because, I don't know.
yeah, but dogs can't pass this thing.
That's what they originally thought, but apparently it's been found on like certain animals, like tigers in the zoo somewhere. So they're worried. I don't know. We don't.
Okay.
That's the issue. They don't actually really know with this thing.
Oh yeah.
That's the worst thing.
Yeah, it's that's like, it's like we were talking about. We're kind of living through history. Everyone's kind of readjust. Like this is what I was saying. Now in order to go outside, you have to be trained to go outside. Because even for me, like if I'm wearing, if I've got like glasses on or something, if I don't have my lenses in, I'm wearing
Mm.
glasses. Like I have to remember not to touch my face. Like I have to adjust from the side of my head,
Oh yeah,
and like kind of getting readjusted to going outside and like living differently.
it is pretty
Um,
bizarre.
It is bizarre, yeah, but I think yeah, like because I've set Tuesday for going out and doing like groceries and stuff.
That's good.
Um, I'm finding like I'm getting more used to it now because I think people around outside are getting more adjusted. Obviously, some aren't, but I think
Mm.
as time's going on, more and more people are kind of getting adjusted. And I'm getting to the point where I get angry at like because I went to drop off a package for delivery at the
Yeah.
corner shop, right? And they don't have any regulations. Like anyone can just walk in and walk out. Whereas most other shops, even if they're smaller shops, say only two, like back in the day when they say only two school kids at a time. Like now it's like only two people in the store at a time. But
Oh yeah.
with this particular store, news agent, whatever you want to call it, convenience store, they didn't have any of that. And I literally waited outside for like 5 minutes. I'm not going in this small cramped space with like seven people just in one aisle. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
And then eventually I went and I spoke to the guy behind the counter who didn't have any gloves on, didn't have like a mouth guard or a face protector or
Yeah.
like a mask on. And I was
That's
like,
always the most frustrating thing is the
no,
people who
but
just ignore it.
yeah,
Yep.
but imagine how many people he comes into contact with. And most of the people that go to these kind of convenience liquor stores, whatever you want to call it, they're just there. They're not very considerate about their own hygiene anyway. So So I started
exactly.
talking to him, and I kind of opened up the dialogue, and I was like, why do you not have a rule in place? And then he didn't really have an answer for it. Like, he was just waffling a little bit. And then I was like, what if you wake up tomorrow and you're ill? And then again, there was like no answer for it. So it's like there's stuff like that where I'll call out irresponsibility in a nice way. Like I won't be like, oh, but I do
Yeah,
feel like that internally. Like in Naruto, when you have the inner Sakura and she's saying something, that's me inside. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, do you know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah,
But I'll explain it anyway. So yeah, it's kind of a less or a less least lesser I don't even know less stressful experience. I was gonna say least stressful experience, but it's still stressful going outside.
I don't know why some people think it's like it's better, it's worse. But they get more or less. Some people tend to take more consideration over time. Some people just get more lazy. Feels like.
Hmm. I think there's gonna be a period of time where there's like a relapse on the spike because people kind of will stop taking it as seriously again because like by the looks of it, like in Tesco and stuff, there's like enough supplies now than there was when it first people were panicking and stuff.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't know.
they
It's
still
just
want,
this week has been very
which
uncertain. Sorry, go on.
yeah, I mean people want to be like panic. So it seems like when people are panicking, they're either stupid or sensible. But then afterwards, they just kind of settle back into old habits very quickly. Like, why can't we just be sensible all the time? You know?
And I've been asking that for a while now. Like, I don't know. It takes. This is the thing. This is like almost human nature. Like for example, if there's disputes and whatever, or sometimes it occasionally takes someone's dying or a funeral to have people kind of forget about these petty squabbles and kind of realize what's important. Or
Mm,
it takes something to get to the nth degree to kind of then put into perspective what's important. Or it takes until the 11th hour for us to start doing our homework and essays. you know?
I can't relate. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just how we are.
Yeah.
It's interesting, man.
Well, we have to remember that there's always beautiful things in life to keep us focused on things.
Yeah, for every situation, that's what you're saying there is important. For every kind of negative self-talk you have or doubt, like you need to remember, no, this is an opportunity for me to do. It might seem bad in the short term, but it's an opportunity to do something productive in the long term or beneficial to us and those around us. And that's kind of what's been getting me through as well, like this uncertainty. Because I've
Yeah, I
had
feel you,
like
man.
a couple of days, for no apparent reason, I just feel down. I'm just like, what I'm doing everything and it doesn't suck me in as much as it used to because I'll just automatically remember I need to do this and why do I need to do this because it's important because and then I'll get my meaning or my purpose
Mm.
back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But yeah, I've had days like that where you're kind of like, ugh.
everyone's got their ups and downs, I guess. But then life wouldn't be interesting otherwise.
Um, everything's very clean outside.
That's good. Yeah.
Like if you go to Central Station here, like everything, like because they've kind of taped off the benches, so you can't really
Mm.
sit down in public places anymore. Um, but everything looks very clean. It's the cleanest I've ever seen it, to be honest. Like I go to, I've been to like Paris, I've been to Tokyo, and I see these places. I'm like, wow, this is so clean. Like you think Paris is clean, you should go to Tokyo. It looks like something out of an anime in terms of perfectly drawn, but it's actually like there's no crap on the floor. You can eat outside, probably on the cement. Like that's so clean it is. And we're
Wow.
kind of getting to that point now where it's like a lot cleaner outside and even the waters are, I think, clearer. And with this whole, do you see that clip of when they were showing like the airspace or something, or thermal kind of geographic kind of plan of China while everyone was on lockdown, and how the radiation had kind of reduced, and how kind of like the environment was recovering, and then obviously once they ended the lockdown, it just went back to as it was, but they're just
Yeah.
polluting the air again.
It's silly.
So here's a
It's
sneak
just nice to give
preview.
the Earth a break, I guess.
Yeah, for a little while. Like the canals in Venice apparently were very clear. There's like more
Mm.
fish in the water.
Yeah, for the first time in like 200 years, it's great. I might have to go in a couple of minutes. Just letting you know.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm glad I came to catch up though. Thanks for, thanks for sending the invitation. It's always good to hear you.
Oh, I
Get a,
appreciate that. I hope everyone else feels the same way. I know it's been a bit of a low key pod stream, but like we've got three of these. Come on, I need to space myself out. Can't be
yeah.
hyped all the time.
This
But
is the pre-show.
this I well, this was just the chill show. This was just come hang out. We're just gonna talk about stuff as it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, to conclude, I'll give a little preview of match number 4 of night number 2 of WrestleMania. It's
Mm,
all so complicated now. It's all in like segments and shit. But match number 4 was Last Man Standing between two wrestlers, very well
mm.
known. So Edge and Randy Orton. So one of my notes that I'm writing down now is that the referee was too loud.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's a little preview. And if you want to know what I mean, then you got to tune in at 6 p.m. BST. Or I could just tell
I
you
think.
now. I just thought he was really loud. Like he was just
Oh,
because
I
it's a
see.
last man standing match. So when someone goes down, he's got to do the 1, 2, and kind of count them down. But he was so aggressive in his count. Like if anyone goes back to watch it, like it's just funny more than anything because there's no one. Normally they're shouting really loud because obviously the sound of the crowd is kind of kind of
Yeah, they have.
conflicting
It's
with their
just,
own audio, right?
but it's like habit for him. Then that's
Yeah, it's
funny.
the habit. So he's just like shouting really loud. He's like, "What?" Like there's no one there, dude. Relax. You can even put a finger up, and we'll understand what the point is. So yeah, referee was
Wow.
very loud. But yeah, as we kind of wrap things up here, I just want to say I've got a couple more things I need to do for the preview. I want to thank everyone for joining us on this Wednesday, the 8th of April, 2020. If you want to follow Victor, I don't know what his social handle is, so he will tell you now.
Sigmar Kane for basically everything now.
Okay,
S
so
I
that's
G
is
M
that
A R
sorted now? So
C
you
A
have the
I N.
Twitter.
Yeah.
So that's SIGMARCAIN on the Twitter. You can follow me everywhere. I'm
Thank you
even
very
on Tumblr now.
much. Ooh.
Yeah,
How's that doing these
I got
days?
convinced. I don't really know because I'm still new to it. But you can go to you can find me tumbling around on Tumblr with the same username. So it's MAU2X15. And yeah, I appreciate you guys spending a part of your day with us. And we will see you, well, for the pod stream next week.
The more the merrier.
See, okay, so we need to do this thing where you have the last word, and you need to come up with a last word that's a powerful last word. And we're still on the air, so you still have a chance now. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Take care, everyone, and stay safe.